What is up, you guys? Chaotic Tunes here, and let's talk about offensive content. Right off the bat, you might notice this is gonna be a very different drawing. This is gonna be pushing the line of what can be on YouTube, and I don't even know if this is going to be allowed to say on YouTube, but we'll find out. But the reason I chose this drawing for this specific video is offensiveness. Pretty straightforward, right? Being offended is clearly something we've all felt at some point, right? Whether it's someone told you something, or you read something, you saw something, whatever. At some point, I'm sure you felt offended. But you shouldn't have to. See, at the end of the day, anything that you find offensive, you find it offensive because you believe it's offensive. And I completely understand that there's history behind a lot of things, and I completely understand that there's meaning behind everything, right? But at the same time, you are the one that's deciding to be offended by it or not. And I feel like that's what that's the biggest weapon that you can have against offensive stuff, right? As an example, I've talked before that I am Mexican, right? And I don't like look very Mexican. I look actually very Asian. Once I do a face reveal, you will see what I mean. But I'm extremely Asian looking for some reason. I don't know why. That's just the way I came out, right? And you wouldn't know I'm Mexican unless I told you or you heard me talking, because I clearly have a very thick Mexican accent. And I've gotten over that by the point, alright? I've accepted my accent, and it's fine. I love my accent at this point. It defines me. It makes me who I am, right? The reason I'm bringing this up is, one time while I was at work, some guy came up to us and started yelling at us that we were a bunch of wetbacks, a bunch of illegal aliens, that we were a bunch of beaners. And none of us got offended. Like, nobody that I was working with, not even me, got offended. Because we don't really care. You can call us whatever the hell you want, because we don't really care about you. We don't care who you are. You're just a random person, and you're just making this stupid comment. It's whatever. I don't care. And even if someone I knew and, I cared about called me a beaner or wetback or whatever, I wouldn't really care. Because, sure, it might be an awful word. It might be extremely racist, or it might be whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, I'm the one who's deciding if I want to be enraged by this. And I honestly don't care about it. I don't care. It's whatever. Some other people get offended by extremely sexual drawings, like the one I'm drawing right now, and that's perfectly okay. I understand that maybe they don't want to expose their kids to this type of stuff, or they don't want to, they were just raised differently, right? But at the end of the day, you're the one that's allowing this content to reach you, right? If you see the thumbnail, you know what you're getting yourself into. Like the thumbnail, I'm gonna make it so it's obviously, I'm gonna put 18 only. The picture's gonna be very clear as to what I'm drawing. So if you click on the video and you get offended by what I'm drawing, I completely understand. I understand your background may be different from mine, and I understand this is not the content you expect. But at the end of the day, you saw the preview, you saw the thumbnail, you knew what you were getting yourself into, okay? At the same thing, it's your fault at that point, okay? It's like getting mad if you run a red light and then someone hits you at the person that hit you. Sure, they hit you and they cause you harm, but at the end of the day, it's your fault because you saw the red light and you still decided to run it. That's kind of the way I look at it. And see, the worst thing about getting offended is that once you get offended, coming to a resolution is gonna be extremely hard, right? If you're fighting with someone, or let's change it. If you're arguing with someone and you get offended by something they say, your vision is immediately gonna go tunnel, alright? You're gonna go tunnel vision, and you're gonna focus on only that one negative aspect that the person said, right? And this is actually what Ben Shapiro uses to his advantage, right? He makes sure that whoever he's arguing with focuses on one single thing, and then he starts like slamming them with all these facts, all this knowledge that is coming out of nowhere because this person is fixated on one single thing he said. And that's a horrible thing, right? So moral of the story is that you shouldn't be offended. It's okay if you are. I completely understand. It's a human instinct. But you shouldn't feel offended because it'll change the way you look at things. You need to keep a cool head to make important decisions. If you're arguing with someone about anything and you get offended, forget about it. Just walk away, because neither you or him are going to come out in a good side, right? So just try and keep a cool head about whatever you get offended about. I hope you all enjoy the video. If this video is a little different, because, it's whatever. I'm really sorry. I know it's definitely pushing the lines. But I do hope you all have a wonderful day. Let's try and keep it wholesome. Let's try and be a community. Let's try to be a family. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day and don't do drugs, because those things are pretty bad for you.